Dr. McInroy, here we are. Yesterday was the closing evening of the IOTA conference. What are your impressions?
Honestly, I'm overwhelmed with the richness of the theological exchange that happened over these days. One paper after another, one session after another, had so much to offer for those of us who are interested in not only Orthodox theology, but really the theology of the entire church.
Were there any sessions in particular that were a highlight?
Well, so for myself, as someone who does research in deification, that session was maybe predictably rather enjoyable. But I guess one thing that I especially relished in that session was the sense that you have there an idea, deification, that is certainly currently discussed within Orthodoxy in some extraordinary ways, right? And so that session dealt with the topic, but in any number of other sessions, that topic came up, not overtly devoted to deification as such, but to be one who's been pursuing this idea, this doctrine for some time, to be in settings where it's coming up almost incidentally was just a way to further enrich my understanding of the idea. And even in that session itself, you have this notion that is, yes, within Orthodoxy, but also much more broadly throughout the Christian tradition. And to me, that spoke to a theme throughout the conference, which is you have Orthodox theology being described in any number of ways, but a spirit of real openness as an ecumenical observer of sorts, getting to take part and to be welcomed in to any number of conversations, and to really encounter a sensibility that says, yes, we're talking about Orthodox ideas, Orthodox theology, but again and again and again it was said, this is not an Orthodox idea, this is a Christian idea.
Right. Well, jumping off of that, coming from the Anglican tradition, what are ways you might imagine IOTA continuing to kind of foster that ecumenical community in the future?
So Anglicanism has a long history of looking to the early church for guidance, which is something that I think it shares with Orthodoxy. So it turns to ancient Christian figures to say that they can enliven theology these days, they can enliven the life of faith. Any number of features of their theological positions can be appreciated, but maybe more fundamentally the conjunction of proper rigorous theology and the spiritual life, right? And so these things are not divorced in the early church, but instead are brought together with one another. So I think Anglicanism benefits from that, and to have that opportunity to soak in that environment in this setting. It's just been a real delight. So I anticipate taking a lot of this back to the Anglican tradition and to the Episcopal churches in the United States with a yet firmer, richer sense of that tradition.
Well, it's so great to have your voices here with us at the IOTA conference, enriching that conversation for all of us.
It's been an absolute delight to be a part of this.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.